Hello, dear students. Today we will discuss about our first chapter bolted connection in a subject of design of structure, semester 5th. I, Professor Prashant Bua, Dr. Subhash Technical Campus, Junagadh, welcomes to you all. So in previous lecture we will discuss about overview of IS 800 2007. We have to use why it should be used in a steel structure, what are the codal provision to design a steel structural member, what are the significant effect, and what should be the done by the revision of this IS 800 2007. That all aspect related to steel structure we will delivered in lecture 1. Today's lecture 2 start with the next chapter, bolted connection. So the steel structure is assembled by the connecting of different members such as beam, column, tension member, etc. at their ends of the structure. So many of members in a steel structure are made of different components such as angle, plate, channel section, eye section at different section. So these different components have to be connected by a means of a fastener, like fastener of bolt, rivet or weld. So this connection done by with these three partners. One is rivet, second one is bolt, and third one is welded. But after the revision of 2008 2007 IS 800, the riveted connection we have to neglect and we have to connect with the member, either should be bolted connection or should be welded connection. So start with the bolted connection. So first we will discuss about types of connection. So based on the rigidity of joint, so we already discuss about the types of joint in structure analysis. So here the same applica should be conducted. So based on rigidity, there are three types of connection. First one is simple, or you can say flexible structure. Second one is rigid or moment resisting connection. Third one semi-rigid connection. Now what should be the in that connection, that should be discussed by one. So first we start with the simple or flexible connection. So what should be the simple connection you have to see or you have to maintain by simple connection? So it does not offer the resistance against rotation and also termed as hinge or pin connection. Now what you say about the simple connection? It should be resistance against only rotation as well as also term of hinge or pin connection. So that's why it's called a simple or flexible connection. It transfer only axial force, shear force, and it not transfer the moment. So it's only transfer the shear force as well as axial force. They not transfer the moment while simple connection is done. It generally connected by single bolted rivet and therefore full rotation is allowed. So it should be connected by only single bolted or riveted, and that's why it should be allowed full rotation. This all about simple or flexible connection. In general field we have avoided this type of connection if the joints need not requirement this type of connection. Second one is rigid or moment resisting connection. Now this design in a such a way that it offer the resistance against rotation and also termed as moment resisting connection. So these connections are focused on resisting the rotation as well as moment resisting connection, along with axial force, shear force is transfer and moment. So these type of connection are transfer, shear force, axial force as well as moment. So this connection should be transfer all the three types of load to the another member that should be connected as a load transferring system. So it is generally connected by multiple bolts, rivet, and therefore rotation is not allowed. Here the connection rotation is not allowed because we have to provide multiple bolt and rivet based on the loading condition. Now third one is semi-rigid connection. So design in a such a way that offer the resistance against rotation but less than rigid connection. So along with the axial or shear force partially transfer the moment, it not be transfer fully moment. That's why I use the word of partially transfer moment. But of course shear force and axial force are transferred. So this rotation are allowed but the magnitude is less than the rigid connection. So this one is fully rigid connection, it should be resist by all the three force. Semi-rigid, it means shear force as well as axial force are resist but partially moment should be resist. So that's why its name is semi-rigid connection. So in actual practice or connection, neither simple nor perfectly rigid, but they can be idealized as a simple, rigid and semi-rigid connection. That should be noted down in my note also. So I think you have to visualize about three connection. I give more simple example. Simple means this is the simple connection. Rigid means one end fixed in our structure analysis is concerned. And semi-rigid, it means you should provide as a hinge. So it also transfers some moment or shear force, axial force, and these all three moments should be transferred. So I have converted into simple or flexible like pin joint. Rigid means fixed joint and semi-rigid means hinge joint. Next, types of connection. So based on internal force transfer. Previously we have to date on rigidity factor. Now we will discuss about the internal force transfer. So the beam connection first, second one is axially loaded connection and third one is eccentric connection. Now what should be the beam connection? So the frame connection, web of the beam is connected directly to the column or another beam. So now again there are the two types, one is frame connection and second one is sheet connection. Again sheet connection there are the two types, first one is stiffen and second one is unstiffen. So flange of beam is connected to column with the help of sheeting arrangement is converted into the sheet connection. It means you should provide extra sheet to connect this angle, it means that is the sheet connection. So the questioners generally ask about beam connection, in which category it will be failed in previous classification. So your answer should be simple, it should be simple and flexible connection. How we compare with the previously classification, this beam connection is nothing but our simple and flexible connection. Second one is axially loaded connection. So these are assumed to be hinge. Ideally member should be connected by the one bolt. It connected by two or more bolts or maybe weld. So result into the development of small partially fixity which can be ignored. Again the same question, give the category and example of this classification. So again you have to classify the simple and flexible, but in a special case of truss member joint, at that time we should provide axially loaded connection. Only the axial force should be transferred. Third one is eccentric loaded connection, that connection in which moment acting in a plane of joint. For example, joint subjected to shear force and torsional moment. So the connection in which moment acting perpendicular to the plane of joint. For joint subjected to shear force and bending moment. So which type of category fall in a previous classification? So your answer should be rigid or moment resisting capacity. So this one is nothing but our eccentrical loaded connection. So these are again classified based on internal force transferring system. So again three classification are done. First one is beam connection, second one is axially loaded connection and third one is eccentric loaded connection. Now design consideration of connection. So design is more conservative than member because they are more complex to analyze and description between analysis and design is very large. So in case of overloading, failure in member is preferred to failure in connection. So here this is the very important point of second. In case of overloading, when your load should be increase as per your calculation, means your load should be over as per your calculation. At that time, failure in member is preferred to failure in connection. So at that time we should not failure allowed in connection, but of course we have to failure in our preferred member. So the connection account for more than half the cost structural steel work. So the connection design has influence over the member design, and similar the member connection are also classified ideally type of effect through the either should be connected by rivet, bolted, welded. As per I say in previous means first slide, our rivet should be neglected after the revision of IS 800 2007. That code should be we have to use in our design of steel structure throughout the portion is completed. So these are the codal provision of consideration the connection itself. Now start with the types of fastener. In first we have start with the riveted. So use the riveted is become a obstacle at its requirement periphery. Skill supervision is needed. More labor and rivet equipment are needed to join this member. Therefore, emphasis is given on design of bolt, and design of rivet is similar to the design of bolt. So in the past, the connection is should be coupled. Now riveted and bolted. So both are the same, but there are the some disadvantage at riveted connection, like there are the required technical skill, supervision should be needed, the extra labor should be needed, and riveting equipment should be needed at a heavy construction. So to avoid this overcome of this disadvantage, we will like introducing only bolt connection. But of course you know about the rivet connection being a steel structure is studied. So I give one simple example of rivet connection. Every of you have traveled in our ST bus. So in that below the seat रिवेटेड का मैं एक सिंपल एग्जांपल आपको देता हूँ. सभी ने एसटी बस में ट्रैवल किया होगा. जब हम सीट के पेरीफरी में मीन्स नियरर टू द सीट एंड विंडो के नीचे एक एल्यूमिनियम सेक्शन होता है, उसमें आप देखते हो तो रिवेटेड कनेक्शन से वो जॉइंट किया होता है. उसका क्या डिसएडवांटेज है, अगर वो बस पुरानी है तो आप फील करोगे कि वहाँ पे वाइब्रेशन आता है और वो जो कनेक्शन है वो लूज होता है. सो रिवेटेड का वही एक डिसएडवांटेज है, वो आफ्टर लूजिंग दैट कनेक्शन इट नॉट बाई फिक्स. तो वो क्या होता है, एक बार कनेक्शन लूज हो जाने के बाद वो फिर से टाइट नहीं होता. जैसे बोल्ट में क्या होता है, हम इजीली वो नट है वो टाइट करके कनेक्शन फिर से स्ट्रॉन्ग कर सकते हैं. सो दिस आर द मेनी डिसएडवांटेज लाइक riveted connection, and that's why we avoid the riveted connection after the revision of IS 800. So now bolted connection. So preferably this fastener is very much used in a nowadays of steel structure is concerned. So that bolt connection, there are the main code as IS 1363 part 123 it 2002. You doesn't copy about that, you have to just for the knowledge I will see in this slide. So first we discuss about black bolt. So made up a mild steel bar with square hexagonal head, commonly used and less expensive, commonly used a light structure, not recommended for the connection subjected to impact, fatigue and dynamic load. If your structure under covered by these three loads, you doesn't providing the black bolt in that connection. So black bolt is nothing but it's a mild steel bar, and it should be again you can denote it as C grade bolt or unfinished bolt. These are the types of black bolt. Now what should be the black bolt itself? So black bolt are made from mild steel that I discussed, and black bolt are also referred ordinary rough unfinished common bolts. So they are not recommended for mended connection subjected to impact, fatigue and dynamic load. Now steel construction generally bolt of property has 4.6 are used on this case. So what should be the 4.6 grade of bolt is concerned? Here I mentioned that grade 4.6. So first digit multiply by 100. So you will find out ultimate FU 400 Newton per mm square, and last digit it should be percentage of our first answer. Suppose in 4.6 what should be the FU? 4 multiplied by 100, 400 Newton per mm square. Now 400 multiplied by 0.6, it means take 60% of FU. It should be directly calculated by Fy is nothing but 240 Newton per mm square. So any of our example directly Fu and Fy are not given for bolt. So what should be the done? Instead of Fu and Fy, grade of bolt is given. According to grade of bolt, we have to calculate Fu and Fy. Another example I given 5.6 bolt. Now what should be the Fu? So first multiply by 100, it means Fu is 500 and Fy. So again 60% of 500, it means 0.6 multiplied by 500. So what should be the Fy? Is nothing but 300 Newton per mm square. Likewise, according to grade of bolt, we calculate Fu and Fy. Now you can see the figure of bolt. It's very important. This is the portion you can see is thread portion. This is the plain portion you can see is called as shank area, and this is the nut that will be used for tightening the bolt, and this is the head of bolt. So there are the two types of bolt are available in market. First one, shank area and thread area should be presented in bolt, and second bolt, throughout the length the thread area should be present, no shank area is required. So there are the mainly again two types of bolt available in market also. Now high strength bolt. What should be the high strength bolt? So they are made up bars of medium carbon and steel bar. The bolts property are class 8.8 and 10.9 are commonly used in a steel construction and identify as 8.8S and 10.9S. Marking as a bolt head suffix with S is denoted by high strength bolt. So suffix S denoted high strength bolt, and grade should be 4.6 to 8.8 are not under in high strength bolt. So what should be the minimum grade of high strength bolt? 8.8. You can see that. How can identify this bolt is high strength bolt? So in head of bolt, S should be noted. You can see over there. So S is indicate for suffix S is indicate for high strength bolt. Now you can see that again this is the shank area of bolt, this is the thread area of bolt. Now 8.8 grade. So generally high strength bolt 8.8 ग्रेड से स्टार्ट होकर 10.9 ग्रेड तक हम हाई स्ट्रेंथ बोल्ट में डिवाइड करते हैं. सो 8.8 अगेन. सो 8.8 मीन्स Fu कितना होता है? फर्स्ट डिजिट मल्टीप्लाई बाय 100. इट मीन्स दैट Fu शुड बी 800 न्यूटन पर mm स्क्वायर. नाउ दूसरा डिजिट है उसका 80% हमको करना है. इट मीन्स 800 का 80%. So directly we have to calculate Fy is nothing but 640 Newton per mm square. So again I ask a question and I will be discuss in next lecture 3. Still you have to calculate what should be the Fu and Fy of 10.9 grade of bolt. So still moving forward, after the high strength bolt, high strength friction grip bolt. In addition to grip is concerned, the second type is high strength friction grip bolts. The confirmed code for high strength friction grip bolt is nothing but IS 3757 1985. So these are the bolt which induce the initiative tension member itself. So they do not allow the slip between connection member. So high strength friction grip bolt. So name according to name is concerned, आपको पता चल जाएगा उसमें एक्स्ट्रा ग्रिप दी जाती है तो स्लिप नहीं होता है wherein the load it should be applied. So due to the high strength, number of bolt required are less and the size of gusset plate required is also less. The grade should be 8.8 to 8.9. दूसरा एडवांटेज हाई स्ट्रेंथ फ्रिक्शन ग्रिप बोल्ट का क्या होता है? 8.8 ग्रेड से और स्टार्ट होता है तो नंबर ऑफ बोल्ट रिक्वायर्ड जो अपना रेशियो है नंबर ऑफ बोल्ट वो कम हो जाता है. सपोज 4.6 ग्रेड हम यूज़ करते हैं तो नंबर ऑफ बोल्ट रिक्वायर्ड 10 आया टू रेजिस्ट द पर्टिकुलर लोड, उसके रिप्लेस में 4.6 के रिप्लेस में हम सपोज 8.8 बोल्ट यूज़ करते हैं तो नंबर ऑफ बोल्ट कितना हो जाएगा 5। तो उससे क्या होता है, हमको गजेट प्लेट है जो हम एक प्लेट कनेक्ट करते हैं पर्टिकुलर मेंबर, उसका हमको एरिया ज़्यादा मिल जाएगा, मीन्स उसमें इतना कम होल आएगा तो उसका ग्रॉस एरिया है वो बढ़ जाएगा, तो स्ट्रेंथ कैरिंग कैपेसिटी उसकी बढ़ जाएगी। सो अवर स्ट्रक्चर, बोल्टेड स्ट्रक्चर में क्या होता है, हम ऐसा कनेक्शन डिज़ाइन करना चाहते हैं जो मैक्सिमम लोड ले सकता है बट मिनिमम बोल्ट प्रोवाइडेड। सो दैट शुड बी आवर इकोनॉमी एंड effective connection while the bolt should be provided. So you can see that two plates are connected with the bolt. You can see that one plate should be under covered of shank area and second plate should be covered of thread area. This is the head of bolt and this is the nut of your bolt that should be fastening the two plates. So these holes should be calculated. Now parts of bolt and what should be the assembly. So as I did said, this is the first top part is denoted by head. Shank area means bolt are plain in that shank area. Now second one is thread area, so that the thread should be provided. So what should be the difference again shank and thread? So suppose हम 20 mm डायामीटर का बोल्ट यूज़ करते हैं तो shank एरिया में उसका डायामीटर क्या रहेगा 20, मगर थ्रेड एरिया में वो 20 नहीं रहेगा, उससे क्या होगा 20 से थोड़ा कम होएगा, बिकॉज वी शुड प्रोवाइड द थ्रेड ऑन दैट पर्टिकुलर डायामीटर, तो 20 से कम होगा। नाउ ओवरऑल लेंथ शुड बी द shank प्लस थ्रेड इज सेल्फ, दिस इज द नट फॉर द फ्रिक्शन अवॉइड वी शुड ऑल्सो प्रोवाइड द वाइशर and this is called grip after the connection of these two plate, and this is the visor face should be mounted to the plate itself. So the grip is the distance from behind the bolt head to the back of nut of visor, and the sum of the thickness of all part being joint exclusive of the visor. So the thread length and the threaded portion of bolt. So the bolt length is the distance between behind the bolt head to the end of this bolt. So these are the main parts of bolt. So generally in our calculation is concerned, we mainly focus on shank area, thread area, diameter of bolt, and which type of bolt should be provided. Either it should be black bolt or high strength bolt or high strength friction grip bolt. So now types of fastener and what should be the advantage and disadvantage. So first with the bolted advantage. So the bolted operation is very silent. So at very silent area when we construct the high-rise building, or you can say the industrial building like workshop, and that particular zone should be fixed in a silent zone. At that time we not provide the welding, or you can say the riveting connection. So it's the best option to provide the bolted connection. Now second one is bolted is very cold process, hence there is no risk of fire. Again it's a very important point, because our fire is very much affected while we constructed the steel building. So the bolting operation is more quicker than the riveted. That of course you know that it's very quick to tight, and it's very quick to remove or lose that bolt. So less manpower is required in making of the connection. That also be the bigger advantage while we construct a high-rise building in subjected to steel structure. Now what are the disadvantage? So if the subjected to vibratory loads result in reduction in a strength of getting the loose in case of vibratory load. So of course if the industry purpose we should provide the connection like for industrial shed. So those are the lots of machinery or equipment should be started in that workshop. At that time of course we feel the vibratory effect in our structure. So at that time the bolt may be loose, even we not calculate perfectly the vibrating force. So second disadvantage is unfinished bolt have lesser strength because of non-uniform diameter. So generally that's why we not use unfinished bolt, we always use finished bolt. so that diameter should be uniform throughout the length. So these are the disadvantage of bolting, and hence there are the lots of advantage part also. That's why generally we should provide the bolted connection in a steel structure. Now essential background is done. So according to table 1 of IS 800-2007, now you can also open in your code, it should be table 1, tensile property of structural steel products. So there are the table in that. First one is serial number, you can see that Indian standard according to code is concerned. Grade of classification, you can see that 3.6, 4.6 up to 12.9. So you can see that properties over that: ultimate load, tensile load, and elongation percentage. So 4.6, you can see that it should be 400 Newton per mm square, or you can say MPa as FU. That already we have to discuss in types of grade is concerned, and how we calculate the Fy and Fu according to grade is concerned. Now table 5 is all about the partial safety factor of material. That name itself, partial safety factor, it means we should provide the factor against material as well as load. So that's why the factor of safety are divided as per the revision of code. One factor of safety we should provide at the material types, and second one as a load. तो पार्शियल सेफ्टी फैक्टर इट्स नेम, उसका नेम कैसे पढ़ा है हमने फर्स्ट लेक्चर में देखा. आफ्टर द रिवीजन ऑफ 2007 IS 800, सो वी हैव टू कैलकुलेट 2 फैक्टर ऑफ सेफ्टी. हम 2 फैक्टर ऑफ सेफ्टी कंसर्न करते हैं. एक फैक्टर ऑफ सेफ्टी बढ़ाते हैं अपने मटेरियल में, और सेकंड फैक्टर ऑफ सेफ्टी बढ़ाते हैं हमारे लोड में. सो ऑन एन एवरेज हमारी फैक्टर ऑफ सेफ्टी है वो पार्शियली बढ़ती है, एंड दैट्स वाई द नेम इज पार्शियल सेफ्टी फैक्टर. एंड अकॉर्डिंग टू the different resisting governance by yielding, you can say provide the partial safety factor, it should be 1.10. so it should be fixed of IS 800. तो उससे क्या होता है, हम कोई भी सिटी में या कोई भी स्टेट में अगर स्टील स्ट्रक्चर की डिज़ाइन करते हैं और हम बनाते हैं रेजिस्टिंग गवर्निंग बाय यील्डिंग, so always being as a structure designer or civil engineer, we should take partial safety factor 1.1 according to clause number 5.4.1. तो उससे क्या होता है, पूरे स्टेट और कंट्री में यूनिफॉर्मली रहती है ड्यूरिंग द स्टील स्ट्रक्चर. एंड देर आर द सम मिनिमम रिक्वायरमेंट दैट कोड शुड बी नॉट परमिसेबल अबाउट दैट शुड बी ऑलवेज वी हैव टू मेंटेन. सो सेम अभी हम बोल्टेड की बात कर रहे हैं, तो बोल्ट अगर फ्रिक्शन टाइप में है और सॉफ्ट फैब्रिक है तो 1.25 लेंगे, और फील्ड वेट भी 1.25 लेगा. अगर बोल्ट हमारा बेरिंग टाइप है और इट शुड बी डिनोटेड बाय गामा MB, and friction type is denoted by gamma Fn. So same partial safety factor है 1.125, again 1.125. if we हम यूज़ करते हैं riveted, then again it should be 1.25. now welded, अगर हम फास्टनर के हिसाब से वेल्डेड यूज़ करते हैं और वेल्डेड में सॉफ्ट वेल्डिंग करते हैं तो उसका पार्शियल सेफ्टी फैक्टर है 1.25. अगर हम फील्ड फैब्रिकेशन से वेल्ड करते हैं तो उसका पार्शियल सेफ्टी फैक्टर है 1.50. तो ये हमको पार्शियल सेफ्टी फैक्टर का टेबल जो 5 है वो याद रखना है. इट मीन्स विच पेज और विच कोड आर गिवन इन IS 800, सो इट शुड बी गिवन इन टेबल नंबर 5 क्लोज नंबर 5.4.1. ये डेटा हमको जब न्यूमेरिकल हम स्टार्ट करेंगे तो इस टेबल से पार्शियल सेफ्टी फैक्टर हम कैलकुलेट करेंगे. Next, some typical arrangement. So classify based on the types of force in a bolt itself. First one is single shear and second one is double shear. So single shear, double shear क्या होता है? First हम start करेंगे types of joint. First our joint है lap joint. It means lap joint में क्या होता है, एक प्लेट है उसके ऊपर दूसरी प्लेट है वो अरेंज की जाती है, इसको क्या बोलते हैं, lap joint. So it should be a condition of overlapping in always. Now if shear plane are generated in one, इसमें shear plane कितना जनरेट, shear plane it means two plate are friction with each other, तो उस दोनों की डायरेक्शन डिफरेंट होगी. So here shear is generated. So shear plane कितना होता है 1. अगर मैं यहाँ पे एक और प्लेट प्रोवाइड करता हूँ तो शियर प्लेन कितना होता है 2. सो दिस बोल्ट आर इन सिंगल शियर एंड बोल्ट आर इन डबल शियर, दैट आर अगेन 2 टाइप्स. सो लैप जॉइंट में क्या था, ऑलवेज शियर कितना होता है सिंगल शियर, देयर आर नो चांस टू क्रिएट द डबल शियर. नाउ बट कनेक्शन, तो कोई कनेक्शन में हम प्लेट एक से ऊपर ओवरलैप नहीं कर सकते और फेज ऑफ प्लेट कनेक्शन रिक्वायर होता है, तो उसमें हम क्या करते हैं, ये दोनों प्लेट को फेस से कनेक्ट करना है तो उसके ऊपर एक एक्स्ट्रा गजेट प्लेट और यू कैन से द नॉर्मल प्लेट ऐड करते हैं और कनेक्शन करते हैं. दिस जॉइंट इज नथिंग बट आवर बट कनेक्शन. सो इन बट कनेक्शन देर आर द 2 टाइप्स, सिंगल कवर बट कनेक्शन एंड डबल कवर. डबल कवर इट मीन्स अगेन मैं एक कवर प्लेट प्रोवाइड करता हूँ बॉटम में और कनेक्शन करता हूँ तो डबल कवर बट जॉइंट. सो बट कनेक्शन में 2 टाइप्स है, सिंगल शियर इट मीन्स सिंगल कवर प्लेट, double shear it means double shear or double cover plate are used. Now what should be the double shear? So these are the shear number, shear plane 1 and this is the shear plane 2. तो इसमें कितना shear plane जनरेट होता है 2 and that's why the name is double shear. तो उसमें क्या होता है, shear कैपेसिटी बोल्ट की बढ़ जाती है तो उसको बोलते हैं डबल shear. Again we should provide the shear connection like tension connection and tension plus shear connection. So that should be discussed in our tension connection module. So doesn't worry about the tension connection right now. We only focus on lap joint and butt joint, and this type of joint we have to connect in this chapter and GTU syllabus is concerned. Now force transfer mechanism. So first one is bearing connection. So here bearing connection you can see that we have to transfer the bearing stress. So you can visualize the bearing stress itself. Both the plate load direction are different and that's why the bolt should be affect on bearing stress also. Second one is friction connection. So the clamping of this force P0 you can see over there, that bolt should be fail against the friction connection also, or you can say the bolt shear transfer on free body diagram. So जो बोल्ट ब्रेक होता है उसके बाद का जो फ्री बॉडी डायग्राम है वो यहाँ पे दिखाई दिया है और इज नथिंग बट टेंशन इन बोल्ट. सो आइदर हमारा बोल्ट है और टेंशन में फेल होगा और इट मीन्स इट शुड बी फेलियर बाय शियर, और हमारा बोल्ट है वो बेरिंग में फेल होता है. तो हम वो एट द एंड ऑफ दिस न्यूमेरिकल एग्जाम्पल वी हैव टू चेक दैट आवर बोल्ट इज अगेन सेफ इन बेरिंग as well as friction or shear. According to that we should provide the number of bolt. Now shear connection with bearing plate. You can see here the perfect what should be the effect of bearing. This is the bearing fracture and this is the bearing yield. What is should be different between bearing fracture and bearing yield? Means यहाँ से bearing fracture it means यहाँ से bearing start होता है, तो bearing start होने से क्या होता है, हमारा जो ये नेट है जिसके साथ हम बोल्ट माउंट करते हैं उसका एरिया है वो बढ़ जाता है. यू कैन सी दैट पहले हम कितना डायामीटर रखा होगा, जो जितना बोल्ट डायामीटर होगा उतना. आफ्टर द बेरिंग इफेक्ट इट शुड बी इंक्रीज और इलोंगेशन. सो हमारा ग्रॉस एरिया जो प्लेट का होता है वो कम होता जाता है. एंड बेरिंग ऑफ यील्डिंग इट मीन्स दैट इज द अल्टीमेट बेरिंग. दिस इज द यील्डिंग. वाई उससे ज़्यादा हम बेरिंग प्लेट इफेक्ट नहीं होता. क्या? क्योंकि इससे बोल्ट का डायामीटर है वो इन स्मॉल होगा तो उसकी इफेक्ट ज़्यादा आएगी नहीं. दिस वाई दिस इज द बेरिंग ऑफ यील्ड इन अ प्लेट. सो दिस आर द वेरी सीवियर इफेक्ट वाइल द लोड ट्रांसफरिंग सिस्टम इज कंसर्न. सो दिस ऑल अबाउट shearing of bolt. You can see that this is the effect of shearing. Second one is bearing of bolt. That should be effect on bolt. You can see that here the bolt should be failure against bearing. So bolt should be transfer in a different stage. Now again I can simplify the bearing joint over there. This is the shear plane. If the bolt are provided, then bolt are transferred in a two different state, or you can say cut out in different 2 parts, and it should be traveled according to the force is concerned. So the bearing joint of connection element are assumed to be slipped into bearing against the body of the bolt. So if the joint is designed as a bearing joint, so the load is transferred through the bearing whether the bolt is inserted tight pre-tension bolt. So this all about the bearing strength. How we calculate the bearing strength and shear strength, that will be seen first our caudal provision, and then we start with the example. Now thread in shear plane. So the shear plane in a plane between two or more pieces under the load, where the pieces tend to move parallel from each other but in opposite in direction. What is the shear plane? So it should be parallel to from each other but opposite in direction. That should be also parallel in opposite, and you can see that the force उसमें क्या होता है, दोनों प्लेट का opposite होता है. And that's why the plane should be failure again shear force, or you can say the shear plane. So अगर दो प्लेट रहती है तो shear plane कितना जनरेट होता है? 1. अगर 3 प्लेट होती है तो shear plane कितना जनरेट होता है? 2. Okay, so this is the shear plane is concerned. So the threaded of the bolt may either including in shear plane or excluding from the shear plane. तो हमारा थ्रेड है वो कहाँ पे है, shear plane में है कि shear plane के outer periphery में है, वो बहुत ही important point है while we calculating the shear force is concerned. So the capacity of bolt is greater when the thread excluding from the shear plane. तो हमारा कैपेसिटी shear का कब बढ़ता है, जब हमारी प्लेट है वो थ्रेड पोर्शन के साथ फिक्स है. देन वी शुड प्रोवाइड द एक्स्ट्रा बेरिंग एक्स्ट्रा कैपेसिटी अगेंस्ट दिस shear फोर्स. एंड दैट्स वाई हम shear जब हमको रजिस्ट करना है तब हम ऐसा बोल्ट यूज़ करते हैं जो थ्रू आउट लेंथ में थ्रेड होता है, उसमें सैंक एरिया होता नहीं है. तो ऐसा बोल्ट हम shear रेजिस्टेंस जो कनेक्शन है वो रजिस्ट करने के लिए यूज़ कर सकते हैं, जो पूरा थ्रेडेड पोर्शन थ्रू आउट लेंथ में होता है. नाउ caudal requirement of bolted connection. So the clearance of fastener of hole. Now fastener itself the bolted connection. So उसमें क्या होता है, some clearance of fastener. What should be the clearance? So हमारा बोल्ट डायमीटर सपोज 20 mm है, तो 20 mm हमको बोल्ट एक हमारी प्लेट है उसमें माउंट करने के लिए जो होल है उसको 20 से ज़्यादा करना पड़ता है, तो ही अंदर बोल्ट है वो माउंट हो सकता है. तो वो ज़्यादा इट मीन्स क्लियरेंस कितना रखे, दैट इज़ कॉल्ड क्लियरेंस. जो बोल्ट और बोल्ट होल के बीच में जो गैप रहता है उसको क्या बोलते हैं, क्लियरेंस. तो अकॉर्डिंग टू क्लोज 10.2.1 सम क्लियरेंस स्टैंडर्ड इज गिवन टू यू इन IS 800. सो सपोज 12 to 14 mm डायमीटर का बोल्ट है तो स्टैंडर्ड क्लियरेंस क्या रखना है, 1. इट मीन्स सपोज हम 12 mm डायमीटर का बोल्ट फास्ट करना चाहता है तो प्लेट में डायमीटर होल कितना करना पड़ेगा, 12 और +1 30 mm का डायमीटर ऑफ होल करना पड़ेगा, तब जाके उसमें 12 mm बोल्ट माउंट होगा. सेम वे अगर हमको 16 to 22 इन बिटवीन डायमीटर वी हैव यूज, तो हमको 16 से 22 का डायमीटर का बोल्ट यूज़ करना है, सपोज 20 mm डायमीटर, तो डायमीटर ऑफ होल कितना रखना है, 20 + 2 22. सो 2 mm इज अ फास्टनर क्लियरेंस दैट शुड बी फिक्स्ड इन आवर प्लेट. So this all about the clearance. So that code should be very important. So please note it down. The clause 10.2.1 is given the clearance of fastener, means how to decide the diameter of bolt hole according to 10.2.1. Now spacing, minimum spacing. So 10.2.2 is all about minimum spacing. Now what should be the spacing? Spacing is the distance between two bolt center to center. Suppose 2 बोल्ट हमने फिक्स किया है तो ये बोल्ट का सेंटर और ये बोल्ट का सेंटर, उसको दोनों को बीच में जो लेंथ हो और जो स्पेस रहता है उसको क्या बोलते हैं, स्पेसिंग. एंड व्हाट शुड बी द मिनिमम स्पेसिंग, कितना रहना चाहिए दो बोल्ट के बीच में स्पेसिंग. सो इट शुड बी 2.5 टाइम्स D. सपोज हम 20 mm डायमीटर यूज़ करते हैं तो स्पेसिंग क्या आएगा, 50 mm. इट मीन्स मिनिमम 2 बोल्ट के बीच में 50 mm स्पेसिंग रहना ही चाहिए. and then the caudal provision should be satisfied. So minimum pitch should be given in clause number 10.2.2. and what should be the equation, 2.5 times D, where D is the nominal diameter of fastener. Fastener is nothing but our bolt. नेक्स्ट मैक्सिमम स्पेसिंग। सो हम मैक्सिमम स्पेसिंग कितना यूज कर सकते हैं? सो अकॉर्डिंग टू 10.2.3 मैक्सिमम स्पेसिंग और पिच वी शुड प्रोवाइड 32 टाइम्स टी और 300 mm विच एवर इज लेस। सो अगर हम 2 प्लेट कनेक्ट करते हैं, 1 प्लेट आर थिक बाय 6 mm एंड सेकंड प्लेट आर थिक बाय 8 mm, तो उसमें मिनिमम थिकनेस लेनी है, इट मीन्स 6 mm। सो 32/6 वो जो आंसर आता है, और 300 उसमें से जो कम है उससे लेस हमको मैक्सिमम पिच रखना है। फॉर टेंशन मेंबर मैक्सिमम पिच शुड बी 16 टाइम्स टी और 200। व्हेन वी प्रोवाइड द टेंशन कनेक्शन दैट close should be changed in general, what should be the cause? 32 times t or 300, and where it should be given clause number 10.2.3. So again you noted down the third important point, clause number 10.2.3 maximum spacing। अगर हम वही कनेक्शन कंप्रेशन मेंबर के लिए करते हैं तो हमारा क्राइटेरिया क्या होगा? 12T2 और 200। सो फॉर consecutive fastener in a line exists on a parallel of the edge on outside of plane, so the maximum gauge should be 100 plus 40 or 200 mm whichever is less, where T is the thickness of thinner plate। that I say T हम क्या लेंगे? 2 प्लेट है तो उसमें से जिसकी कम थिकनेस है वो हम T लेंगे। T मीन्स थिनर प्लेट ऑफ बिटवीन 2 we will take as a T। So this all about the maximum spacing is concerned। Now edge distance, pitch distance हमने देख लिया। pitch distance डिनोटेड होता है P से, कैपिटल P। Now next important criteria is edge distance, or you can say the end distance। So figure itself then describe about the end distance between 2 bolt का जो सेंटर टू डेंजर उसका है, उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? pitch distance। वो बोल्ट का सेंटर से हमारे प्लेट का जो एंड है वो डिस्टेंस को बोलते हैं एंड डिस्टेंस, और यू कैन से द एज डिस्टेंस। नाउ हाउ वी कैलकुलेट दिस एज डिस्टेंस? सो द मिनिमम एज डिस्टेंस और एंड डिस्टेंस 1.5 टाइम्स होल डायमीटर। होल डायमीटर इट मीन्स विद द यूज ऑफ क्लियरेंस। सपोज 20 mm का डायमीटर है तो उसमें हम कितना क्लियरेंस यूज करेंगे? 2 mm। तो होल डायमीटर क्या होगा? 22। So 1.5 times multiply by this bolt diameter should be taken। So in case of rolled mechanism flame cut, the hole should be nearest to the end। So the minimum edge and edge distance 1.7 times of hole diameter in case of shear or hand frame cut। So 1.5 उसमें मशीन कट हम जब यूज़ करते हैं बोल्ट का, तब 1.5 टाइम्स डायमीटर ऑफ होल लेते हैं। जब सीयर और हैंड फ्लेम कट एज जो यूज़ करते हैं हम, तो हम डायमीटर क्या रह गए? 1.7 टाइम्स। सो जनरली इन आवर कैलकुलेशन पार्ट वी ऑलवेज यूज द हैंड फ्लेम कट। सो दैट्स वाई व्हाट शुड बी द एज डिस्टेंस? एज डिस्टेंस इज डिनोटेड बाय स्मॉल e and is always 1.7 times diameter of hole। So we will take edge distance as 1.7 times diameter of hole। बट अगर आपका प्रैक्टिकल एग्जाम में क्वेश्चन पूछे कि आपको मशीन फ्लेम कट है तो आपका एज डिस्टेंस का सेम कोड रहेगा, तो आपका आंसर तब होना चाहिए कि इट शुड बी डिफरेंस व्हेन इट शुड बी यूज मशीन कट आवर एज डिस्टेंस शुड बी 1.5 एंड इफ यू यूज आवर हैंड फ्लेम कट देन आवर एज डिस्टेंस शुड बी 1.7 टाइम्स। Now next important is effective area of bolt is given in clause number 10.3.1। so this again codal provision is noted in your book। so for shear plane, the plane part of bolt effective area of bolt is given by the diameter of bolt। so we all know that ASB means area of shank in bolt। सो वहाँ पर सेंक एरिया मीन्स प्लेन एरिया होता है, तो डायमीटर जो बोल्ट का होता है वी नो दैट व्हाट शुड बी द एरिया ऑफ सर्कल। सो इज नथिंग बट पाई d square by 4। सो फॉर shear plane when the threaded part of bolt is effective area on bolt given the diameter by the bolt root, then ये सेंक एरिया की बात हुई जहाँ पे थ्रेड एरिया है बोल्ट में। सपोज ये सेंक एरिया है और यहाँ से थ्रेड एरिया होता है स्टार्ट, तो मैंने बोला था सेंक एरिया है उसका डायमीटर क्या रहेगा? और नॉर्मल जो सर्कल का डायमीटर है पाई d square by 4। मगर थ्रेड एरिया है उसमें डायमीटर कम रहता है तो एरिया भी चेंज होता है। तो हमको कौन सा इक्वेशन यूज करना है, ए एंड बी, व्हाट शुड बी द ए एंड बी एरिया ऑफ नेट ऑफ बोल्ट, and what should be the equation 0.78 times ASP. This means ओरिजिनल डायमीटर है उससे कितना कम होगा 0.78 टाइम्स. सो 2 इफेक्टिव एरिया हम बोल्ट में काउंट करेंगे. फर्स्ट वन इज आवर सैंक एरिया ऑफ बोल्ट एंड सेकंड वन इज आवर थ्रेड एरिया ऑफ बोल्ट. सैंक एरिया का इफेक्टिव एरिया कैसे कैलकुलेट करेंगे, पाई डी स्क्वायर बाय 4 एंड थ्रेड एरिया का कौन सा इक्वेशन यूज करेंगे 0.78 टाइम्स ASB. सो दिस ऑल अबाउट द इफेक्टिव एरिया ऑफ बोल्ट इज कंसर्न. I think you have to understand with the simplify of this figure, thread area and shank area. So this all about the bolt properties. What are the types of bolt we have to use? What are the bolt property given in IS 800? So in next lecture 3 we will discuss about the caudal provision to calculate the shear force calculation and bearing force calculation and start with the example. So thank you friends for listening this lecture 2 and we will get soon about the lecture 3. If any doubt, so please write in my comment box in my YouTube channel. Thank you very much.